Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
How are you and that stupid son of a bitch, Dave Silva, doing?
Man, that nothing happening son of a plumber and I are here, and we are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, excited for another exciting episode of What Happened When.
Let's not get too excited.
Well, this is some silly shit that you never saw. And I get really excited when you get to see silly shit.
I get to see silly shit every day of my life, buddy.
Well, we're going to see a little more today when we reveal that the higher power was actually Vince McMahon.
Well, it normally is.
Well, we're going to talk about that, the good, the bad, and the ugly from way back when on June 7th, 1999. So we want you to get your Peacock out. Go ahead and throw in your search bar Raw. You're going to go to season 7, episode 23. That's season 7, episode 23 of Monday Night Raw. Going to go down on June 7th, 1999. It's a tape show. And Eric Bischoff is actually going to give the spoilers on Nitro, where he says, hey, the higher powers initials are VM. So you guys are still doing your hijinks here in mid-June. You haven't learned your lesson with Mick Foley in January.
Wow. So I'm not the only one that gave spoilers, huh?
No, I don't even think you were the originator. You're just maybe
I was not
the most famous example. But I feel like people are picking on you.
Like,
it's unfair.
Oh. And they call the house and they hang up and they send me emails. And they put a sign on my wife's ass. It says, kick me, and I do it. She gets mad and wants a divorce, and I don't give it to her. And now 30 years later, I wish I had. Where were we? I'm sorry.
This is already one of my favorite What Happened When episodes of all time. Listen, something fun happened last week in your real life.
Not at this fucking house it didn't, but go ahead.
Well, it was actually at television. You found yourself behind the desk at AEW Dynamite, and you were having an exchange with your broadcast partner there that maybe got the internet abuzz. And I think we have a fun little clip here from our crack producer, that nothing happening son of a plumber, Dave Silva.
I mean, how often do you talk to Tony Conrad during these broadcasts?
Just watch the match, dude.
I am watching. Dude, I'm calling the friggin' match. Don't tell me watch the match. I'm calling it. Watch the match, dude. Kiss my ass, dude. Piss me off now. Dude, me. Show up over Excalibur and wear you out. Got me hot now.
That is one of my favorite moments in the history of AEW television. You got me hot now. Should be a new shirt available at lowestrules.com. Don't dude me. Dude, that was a little clip, a little glimpse into what life must be like backstage with you and Taz. That had to be a lot of fun for the rest of the world to see that.
It's always a lot of fun, and we do have a lot of fun putting together, doing the show. Regardless of how stressful things can get in the backstage area, and they do, working with Taz and Excalibur and Nigel on Saturdays. But working with those two guys just during the commercial breaks makes me laugh. My buddy Karen Jarrett, who I really, really love and respect, sent me a tweet yesterday. And it was someone with their phone had taken a video of me when I got all that Woo energy drink dumped on my head by Jack Perry.
Yes.
They brought me a black towel.
Oh, I saw that. You were doing Black Towel Jones out there.
Black Towel Jones over my head and looking at Taz and trying to get his attention with doing Black Towel Jones. So that's just another one of those things.
Well, one of my other favorite things that I've seen of you is, I guess, during a commercial or once you guys were off the air, you recognized somebody and you stormed over to them, flipping them off, talking smack, and then, of course, got there and shook everybody's hands. And I saw a lot of people who saw that and said, man, we were so misunderstood about Schiavone all these years. What a fun guy. And I just thought, man, isn't that the story? Like so many members of the internet wrestling community were just like, oh, he's bitter. He hates the business.
Yeah.
And then they see you actually having a good time. They're like, oh, wow, we were way wrong.
Yeah. All those motherfuckers were wrong, weren't they?
They were. You're a fun son of a bitch when you want to be.
When I want to be.
Yes.
And a lot of times I don't want to be.
That's true.
But I do love my candles. And
what scent is that? Burnt hair?
no, it's ass of dog.
Okay.
That's
That's why you're actually lighting the candle. This room smells like Bug's asshole. Let's fucking light a candle.
Yes, I want that scent the rest of my life. No, it's called Mary Cookie.
Okay.
And it's
Christmas cookie smell?
Yes, Christmas cookie smell. And there was a soap and a hand soap that my daughter-in-law had at Chris's house. And I went, oh, this is great. She said, well, they make candles too. So I bought like a whole box of these candles. And then I had a couple of fans knowing that I like it, started sending me to them. So I've got like 20 of these things I'm trying to get rid of now. The essence of Mary Cookie. You know what it makes me think of? Makes me think of those Christmases when Lois used to bake cookies. Christmas morning smelled like, whew, that was a dream. That never really happened. She never baked. Got sobered up. So how you guys doing?
Man, we are better than we deserve. Excited to be here with you. And we're excited to tell all of our listeners how you're able to swing such extravagant purchases like 20 Mary Cookie candles. You know, this is important when you hear somebody bragging like that to remind yourself that life doesn't happen bi-weekly. So why should payday? The money you earn can be in your hands today with EarnIn. EarnIn is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work, up to $100 a day or up to $750 per pay period. Just download the EarnIn app and verify your paycheck. Then access up to $100 a day as you work and even leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. This is fantastic for that special last night out, or maybe it's a last minute gift for a loved one. Maybe you had some unexpected expenses, like a not so fun trip to the veterinarian, or maybe you just need some new school clothes. Whatever it is, make EarnIn a part of your financial routine and join EarnIn's over 3.5 million customers who are saying things like, when I think about EarnIn, I think about financial stability, security. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. That's what EarnIn's all about, peace of mind. Download EarnIn today. It's spelled EARNIN in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the EarnIn app, type in What Happened When under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. That's What Happened When under podcast. EarnIn is a financial technology company, not a bank, subject to your available earnings, daily max, pay period max, and location. See earnin.com/TOS for details. Bank products are issued by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC. So listen, man, we got a lot of fun, exciting things happening in AEW right now. Unfortunately, we know what we sort of speculated about last week to be true. Adam Copeland is hurting for certain. We got a new tournament on the way. The Owen is right around the corner. And we've got a main event announced. I can't believe this is real, but Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland are going heads up for the title. This has got a lot of fans excited, man. Are you as pumped to see that match as everybody else is?
Yeah, I am, because Swerve has been such a great champion, and Will Ospreay is one of the most incredible performers. I don't know if I think I've said this before, but I don't know if I've seen anyone capture the excitement and imagination of the crowd like Will Ospreay has in such a short period of time. I knew he was great. I didn't know how great he was. And that's a tribute not only to a testament, whatever, to not only how well he can work, but his interviews have been good too. They've been really authentic. And yeah, it's going to be quite a challenge for Swerve. And of course, it's going to be at the UBS Arena on June 30th. Long Island being the home of Taz. And that excites me if nothing else, man. And what was I talking about here?
Well, we're talking about how you need Prevagen and you need BlueChew. But first, we need to watch this old school episode of Monday Night Raw. It's season 7, episode 23. We're home stretching it now for AEW's next big pay-per-view. We just saw them really over-deliver at Double or Nothing. Forbidden Door is on deck next. And there's just a lot of buzz right now around the entire wrestling business. And I think there's a lot of people who are pumped to see what this card is going to look like. I mean, Forbidden Door feels like it's always a spectacle. I mean, last year, my gosh, we got Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay in a match that a lot of people thought might be one of the greatest matches of all time. And his follow-up act, Ospreay's follow-up act, is an AEW world title shot. Could be a big moment for Will.
I watched the other day, believe it or not, on New Japan Pro Wrestling World. I watched John Moxley and Naito for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, which was, I guess, at the Wintrust Arena. And boy, a different match than I expected. Completely different match. Just shows you how much wrestling I'm starting to watch now. How about that?
Well, I mean, I
don't
think they're watching more. Come on.
I don't know where that comment came from. I guess New Japan Pro Wrestling. Oh, and we saw the other night, and I think this was on. God, my memory. We saw Shooter Umino. Have you seen this kid wrestle?
Maybe I don't.
He's from the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dojo out of LA. And he wrestled in LA. He wrestled in that thing. That casino thing.
Casino Battle Royale.
Yeah,
Casino Gauntlet.
Yeah, thank you. What the fuck is wrong with me this morning? I started out so hot, and now I've just lost my concentration here.
Well, listen, maybe I know what'll jump start you. Maybe I know what'll really get your tractor cranked up.
I know what it will. I know what will too.
What will?
A divorce. Or no, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm being facetious.
I mean, you've been teasing the divorce. Is this going to be a Schiavone heel turn?
No, it's not. Do you know what tomorrow is as we're airing right now?
As folks are okay, this is your anniversary?
43rd, yeah.
Man, what are y'all going to do?
We ordered some Jimmy's Famous Seafood.
I was going to say, I know Jimmy's is involved.
So we're going to have that. Yeah.
So what's your go-to order from Jimmy's?
I like the Maryland crab soup, which is the tomato-based soup.
Yep.
Got a little spice to it, and just one of those big old crab cakes. Before the diet, I love the Krabby Pretzel and the crab egg rolls, but they're a little bit too much fat in it for me now, so I go with the crab cake.
So when you're doing the crab cake, you do that you have Lois do that in the oven, or do you do it on a grill?
Yeah, in the oven. Yeah.
Okay. Our buddy Eric Bischoff says cooking them on the big green egg is like touching the face of God. So shout out to John and all of our friends at jimmysfamousseafood.com. Hey, man, let's finally do it here. Season 7, episode 23. We're going to be watching a very special episode of Monday Night Raw. Want to give a shout out to our live studio audience. You can be a part of our live studio audience by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/WHW Monday. Of course, you also get included over at adfreeshows.com. Shout out to Brooke McGaw and Coach Rosie and DJ Turnup and Jim in Buffalo. And we got a good little cast of characters here hanging out with us on this fine Tuesday morning. See, Lindsay's in the house and a few others. Appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out. Shout out to Anthony and Coach Keith. Without further ado, though, Tony, I'm rip roaring ready to go. Do you got a countdown ready for us for this special episode from June 7th, 1999?
Yes, I do. We are so popular on a national level here that we have celebrities coming out of the woodwork wanting to be part of the show. Did you know that?
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So here's a special countdown that was sent to me just a few days ago.
This is Morgan Freeman. Conrad and Tony have a lot of fun each week watching pro wrestling. But they are still idiots. Time for the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Play.
The big pause for play. I hope we're not paying him by the word. Lord have mercy.
No, hope not either.
So here we go. The old school 1999 opening. It's hard to believe this was freaking 25 years ago, man.
Last week, they had Stone Cold up against the ropes, and then the dead guy came in.
Well, that's supposed to be the higher power. So that's who's been ordering The Undertaker to do all these dastardly things like kidnapping Stephanie and putting Stone Cold on a symbol and all that. He reveals his face to Austin and Austin alone. And Meltzer would say at the time in the crowd, fans thought it might actually be Vince under the hood. And of course, people were speculating, oh, it could be Linda, could be Stephanie herself.
Yep.
We know it's actually going to wind up being Vince, but there's been lots of discussion. Hey, what if it was going to be your great close personal friend, Christopher Daniels? And when I sort of mentioned that to you a few weeks ago, it was almost like that was new information to you. You've seen and spent some time with Chris. You ever talk to him about this higher power business?
No, but I am going to next time I see him.
Yeah.
Was there a chance that they were going to bring him in and do that, or just it was speculation?
It was certainly speculated and discussed. And I mean, I recently did a sit down interview with Midian for adfreeshows.com. And he had his theories about that too. But he too had heard the Christopher Daniels stuff, but felt like it might be a stretch at the time.
Mm-hmm. Maybe so. Because Christopher had just been independent, right? So what would have it meant on a big scale, right? Because of his independent work.
I think Midian was very tactfully and respectfully saying, "Hey, man, you got these monsters like Viscera, and I mean even Midian himself. I mean he's like 6'5", and then you got the Undertaker. I mean these are huge, towering, hulking men. And respectfully, Christopher Daniels is not a 7-foot guy. So." Yeah. I think he thought, hey, we're all on bended knee to a guy who is not as tall as us. And that wasn't exactly what was said, but it was certainly what I picked up more so than, hey, he wasn't quite yet a national name. I just think they were concerned, or not they were concerned. I think Midian was suggesting that perhaps Vince felt like the optics of that. Because we've all heard that Vince is sort of the land of the giants forever and ever. I mean, here he is coming out in a wife beater right now. Got to show those guns off.
So was he the in this is 99, right?
Yes.
So the Mr. McMahon character has already been played, right?
Yeah, he's been doing the Mr. McMahon stuff since 97.
Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm here at the Boston Garden, where in many years from now, Mercedes Moné is going to debut. And I'd just like to say that she left us because of creative problems, but there have been a lot of creative problems in pro wrestling as long as I've been here. That's why I hired Bruce Pritchard to help with the creative process. And of course, the reason I hired Bruce Pritchard was because of his association with Conrad Thompson.
Oh my God.
And Conrad Thompson to me is one of the more creative geniuses in all of pro wrestling. Next to, let's see, Dusty Rhodes, George Scott.
Oh Lord.
Next to
the great Tony Khan.
Next to Eric Bischoff, next to Pat Patterson. And next to many of the geniuses in the business, I've often called on Conrad Thompson throughout the years as saying, Conrad, can you help me out with this angle?
Oh,
And Conrad would say, no, I've got a mortgage. I've got to sell.
sure.
Uh, then I thought, well, there is another guy out there, and his name is Dave Silva.
No, no, no.
Okay. And Conrad said, you want me to call on him to help with the creative? And I said, no, I just like you to kick him in his fat ass for general purpose.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm down.
And Conrad said, okay, I will. And, but first I have to send him back to Texas where he fucking belongs.
Wow, you're nailing it.
Thank you very much. And as for all those signs out there, thank you for the signs. I really appreciate it. Is there any Eric Bischoff signs out there? Any Eric Bischoff signs? Well, as you know, Eric has come out on his show and has revealed who the higher power is. I'm not so sure I've got the timing right on this, but I just like to say to you, Eric, get ready, wear a fucking helmet because the shit's going to get real in 2000.
Wow. Well done, Tony. What a promo. It's been a while since you cut a long, lengthy Vince McMahon promo here on the program.
And I just like to say,
oh, thank you.
that even though I get cut off sometimes, and I'm not talking about with the pussy.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Lord. Lord. Lord.
I'm talking
Help me,
about,
Jesus.
I'm talking about being cut off by Conrad
Help me.
because I was yet to be done. I just want to say that here in this ring right now, I'm going to buy the entire WCW, the entire. Yep. Whoop. Who the hell is this?
I think that's the Undertaker. Oh, it's his own son, Shane McMahon.
What the hell does he want?
He's
Shane.
here. I think he's got a word about his sister and his brother-in-law taking over the company.
Okay.
What do you think Shane's saying about all that?
And looking around, close up, Dad.
It's like an extra from Dick Tracy right now with that pinstripe.
Yeah, he
suit
does.
on.
Yeah, looking around. Dad,
Oh, God.
Dad, Dad, you motherfucker! I heard I was adopted. Is that true? Yes. Yes. So, isn't it, son? You were adopted. Well, just let me say that if I was adopted, I got news for you. In about 30 years, you're going to be senile. Got it? Old, decrepit. It happens to all of us. Excuse me while I stick this microphone down my throat. And I also want to say that people have been wondering who the higher power is. Could it be Christopher Daniels? Could it be Conrad Thompson?
Oh,
Let me
God.
stick this microphone down my throat. Could this be, I don't know. Hang on, Tony can't talk. He's got a beagle's nose up his ass.
A beagle's nose up your ass?
Well, I mean, she's come up behind the chair and got her nose right here. Here she is.
Do you think it's because I mean, I don't know that everybody listening to this knows this, but it's well known inside the wrestling world that you don't wipe, that you just, let it go with God, and it turns into like peanut brittle in your drawers.
You know what I just realized?
What's that?
This is about a week after Owen Hart died.
Yeah, they're in the middle of a big ugly mess for all that at this very moment. Like, Vince showed up to the funeral, and boy, Martha was not happy. Didn't want any
Wow.
of the footage to air, all that stuff.
It was like at the end of May.
Tony,
Yeah.
give everybody a time code. Let them know.
I don't know because I'm getting the spinning wheel of death. Are you getting that too?
I did too, so I had to go back. So listen, guys, we're trying to watch it along with you, and we hope you are too at June 6th, or I'm sorry, June 7th, 1999. I tell you what, listen, it's not supposed to be hard to watch wrestling, but you are supposed to be hard when you enjoy Blue Chew. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers you the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. So you can take them anytime, day or night, plan ahead, or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. And the process is simple. You'll sign up at BlueChew.com. You'll consult with one of their licensed medical providers. And once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And here's the best part. It's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversation, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA. They're prepared and shipped directly to your door, all in a discreet package. And as a reminder, this isn't just a product for guys who have a problem. This is for guys who want to put on a 5-star performance, guys who want to leave a lasting impression, guys who want a return match, guys who are looking to go 2 out of 3 falls, guys who are looking for no holds barred, guys who are looking for a hot tag for their wiener. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex, so discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code WHW at checkout. Just pay the $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com. The promo code is WHW, and you receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring today's podcast. And Tony's wiener. So, Tony, give me an idea. Where are you at right now, bud?
I have no idea. I'm going to the Peacock and trying to.
Okay. Well, I'm 9:50, and we see the Undertaker come into the ring, and his
that's good enough for me.
Band of Merry Misfits. We see China got the gimmicks out. Paul Bear in all black. Unfortunately, no longer with us. Big Boss Man looking mighty badass. Viscera doing his best Demolition Man. A hilarious story from Midian about how Viscera became a member of the faction. You've just got to hear over at adfreeshows.com. Bringing up the rear, as they've sometimes been known to do. APA, they used to, I guess this is before their APA, the Acolytes. John Bradshaw Layfield and former Farouk, Ron Simmons. But hey, yeah, do you remember the worst APA shirt of all time? Did you see that?
No, I did not.
They had the APA logo on the front, Acolyte Protection Agency, and on the back it said, APA, always pounding ass.
Whoa.
Where you at on that, Tony? You like to get your ass pounded or do the ass pounding?
I don't know. I don't look over here. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, look, you pointed and on command.
On command.
That really is a Schiavone right there.
I just run this house, man.
Watch the match, dude. That's what that dog said as he ran away. Watch the match, dude. What do you think the Undertaker's saying right here?
Well, let me say a few words about what was just said within the members of the McMahon family.
McMahon? Okay.
That's right. I said McMahon. Okay. McMahon. I'll say it again for those with hard of hearing in Huntsville, Alabama. McMahon. Right. I said it, McMahon. McMahon. So non-believers, you must understand that the higher power is McMahon. Got to get it in now before he goes.
Did you just hit
like
me?
Los Schiavone, I'm not done. Before he goes, I
don't know why you're tickling me today, but you are.
I've made up a few words. McMahon and Cena. Oh, it's getting dark. It must be WCW when they didn't pay the power bill. Only in WCW would things go dark when they're not supposed to. Here he comes. The higher power. Looking like a penis draped in black.
Oh.
Take a look at the top of that head.
Oh my God.
Everybody down on one knee. Here he comes. The higher power. It may look like we're playing marbles in the ring down on one knee playing jacks, but no. We're down for the higher power. Can I get the lights on, please? Is this WCW? Are we all fucked up? You know how fucked up they are on the other channel? They're getting ready to lose. Turner's getting ready to sell to us the whole tape library for $1.50. The higher power is here. Everybody moving slowly to him.
Hey, Tony, real deal. Just so you know, when he pulls that cloak back and reveals that it's actually Vince McMahon, JR had a really classic call that fans still get excited about and got replayed for decades.
Yeah.
He pulls it back, reveals his face, and JR just goes, "Oh, son of a bitch." So fun. I'd love to play it here on the show, but WWE doesn't want us to celebrate the moments then, now, forever together.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you know what? Lawyers. There's only one good one. We know who he is. Mike Dawkins. Everyone else can suck it. Oh, sorry.
No.
We got a couple of good ones to AEW too. Sorry. Love you guys. I mean it.
Oh my God.
Those are the only good ones. Dawkins
and the various AEW at all Elite Wrestling email addresses.
Yeah.
My goodness.
There's a guy with a sign that says Pork 1633.
Well, instead of Austin 316.
Pork. Boy, this is some great TV here, isn't it?
You know what's stupid? I mean, it really doesn't make any sense. It's how well this fucking angle did. By the way, they're here in Boston, 13,300 or 430 fans. It's a paid sellout, over $306,000 at the gate.
Wow.
I mean, for a live television show, that's pretty good.
How much do you think that would equate to money today? More than $300,000.
$600K probably.
Yeah, double the house. Yeah. What do they keep looking? They keep looking towards the entranceway. What for?
Well, I think they're just trained. You know, they're waiting on the glass to break. Wait, it's Vince McMahon on the screen. How can it be?
Oh my God. The miracle of videotape back then, which is now hard drives here in 2024. You ever thought where you and I are going to be in 2029? You ever thought about that?
No, I have not.
Oh, here comes the big reveal.
There it is. By the way, this segment got a 7.03.
Wow.
But believe it or not, even though this was the lead storyline, this wasn't the highest rated quarter hour. Do you want to guess what actually did better?
That would be no, I don't want to guess.
It's a Deborah and Nicole Bass bikini contest.
That's going to be on this show?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Rack it up.
7.13. It actually beat this segment, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Now, the overrun of Undertaker and Big Show, they do a 5-minute overrun in this show, does a 7.32. Meanwhile, you've got Sting versus Randy Savage in the
Wow.
overrun, and that does a 3.48.
Wow. Talking about getting your ass handed to you.
And by the way, on paper, I wouldn't guess that. If I was to tell you, hey, I got Undertaker and Big Show on one channel, and I got Sting and Randy Savage on the other, I don't think very many people would think twice as many people would watch Undertaker and Big Show, but they did.
Huh.
Crazy to think about to me.
This whole thing's crazy. I mean, you go back and take a look at what was done in the Monday Night Wars, right?
Yeah.
Just crazy what things that they tried to do to top each other. I really think that I may be wrong here, but as we all tried to top each other, they were so hot right now, and we were so bad right now, that I'm not even sure they were worrying about what we were doing. They were just moving forward, right? I mean, you got the big lead, and you just they can eat our dust. What are they doing this week? Don't give a shit. Got the higher power.
Yeah, it's kind of a lame payoff. I mean, it made no sense. It wasn't logical at all. One of the more criticized decisions from the era, but it is proof positive of what you were just saying. Hey, at this point, it feels like they can almost do no wrong.
Right.
Like
When you're
momentum is such a real thing. It's like they
Sure
can
it
do
is.
no wrong.
Right. People want to see it. People want to see it for what it is, but people want to see it because now it's the thing to do. Your friends say, "Oh, you don't watch WCW? There's red hot on WWE. Come on, let's watch WWE." And then it just kind of snowballs on its own. So,
Man, look at the stage now with Stephanie and Linda. The McMahon men in the ring, the McMahon women at the top of the stage. Linda not too happy that her own husband staged the kidnapping of of his own daughter.
yeah.
Oh man, that's still that Silva has there. It must have been cold in the arena.
Eh. That I really, in my time at WWE, really got along with Linda.
How could you not? She seems like
She wa
everybody's grandma. Seems like the nicest
Yes,
lady ever.
she was so cool. Hey, uh, yeah, makes me miss my time at WWE, man. Because she was so nice to me. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the
What's the thing?
Be nice to people.
Oh yeah. Well
That's
said.
it. That is it. Be nice to people. Remember that. Remember that, son. If I haven't taught you anything at all, be nice to people.
Oh, speaking of nice to people, Brooke McGaw's husband's here.
Ugh.
Not really. I just I knew you would respond that way
So-
after. Be nice to
so-
people.
Be nice
These
to people. Except Patrick.
Fuck Patrick.
Come on, Patrick. Guy.
No, of course not. We're having fun here.
Brooks like 10. Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
Hey, I knew the bit. What can I say? Coach Rosie's with us, and he's got a question for you. He wants to know, Tony, there's a major beef in the rap world. Are you on Team Drake, Team Kendrick Lamar?
I'm not going to say what I think.
What do you mean?
Okay, let me say it this way. I listened to a rap song the other day, and I can't remember where I was. I guess we were riding in the car. I think I was in an Uber. And the rap song played, and there's some rap songs that I really enjoy. I really do. I think they're pretty cool. But this one, man, the guy just couldn't sing. I didn't think. And it was Drake.
Okay, so you're Team Kendrick.
I just when I listened to that, I just thought, I just
Well, I
don't know. I haven't listened to Kendrick, so I can't make a decision here. I don't know. What's the beef going on in the rap world?
Boy, it's a lot.
Is it?
We might need to do a bonus episode because it would take me a while to get you all the way through it.
Okay.
It's they're doing work shoot promos against each other, Tony.
Oh,
they're trying
it's a wrestling angle in rap.
Yeah, there you go. It's a work.
Okay.
And they're selling albums. I mean, the downloads are through the roof. They both got buzz.
And they're both billionaires. I get it.
Well, one is. Yeah.
Drake is.
Yeah, almost maybe.
Yeah, who am I to criticize multimillionaires? He may be a great guy. I just didn't get it. It just, to me, it did not connect with me.
Jim in Buffalo says, Tony, Dynamite and Collision come to Buffalo at the end of June. Name one person backstage at AEW who'd send over Niagara Falls in a barrel.
The barrel fit more than one person.
Yes.
There'd be a whole bunch of them, but the names would not resonate with anybody here.
For the purposes of our story, it's Taz, right? I mean, it's Taz. Watch this match, dude.
Just my luck, right? Just my luck. The barrel would break, and he come roaring out.
Wearing a black towel.
Wearing a black towel. That dog, by the way, behind me is not dead.
Yeah.
That dog is Scout. Scout. Scout saying, go fuck yourself.
You've got that dog trained as well as you do Lois.
That's right. Just lay there.
Just lay there. A new shirt available at loisrules.com. Coach Rosie says, if you went to church next Sunday and Vince McMahon was delivering the message, what would you do, Tony?
I would listen intently. And I would help him down from the podium, because he probably wouldn't know which way to go. Help him to his car. Open the door. Look inside. Say hello to Bruce Pritchard. And shut the door and let him drive off.
You just assume that Bruce is wherever Vince is?
Yeah. Just trying to be funny.
Jim in Buffalo says, we're 7 weeks out from the Hall of Fame weekend in Waterloo. Did you know the Waterloo, Iowa Arena Football League team name is the Iowa Woo? Yes, the name and logo are inspired by Ric Flair.
Which means that they bought their licensing.
No,
so
no, they did not. And they got a cease and desist.
Oh,
they had his name, image, and likeness and spelling and everything. And they said, oh, we did it because we love wrestling and we love Ric Flair. But they never sent Rick any money. So an attorney friend of yours put it on Richard's radar. And I think they got a piece of mail. And there were revisions made to the presentation.
But they're still called the Woo.
Yep, but I think there's less O's now. And there's no hair on it. There's no title belt on it. I don't know. They've changed some things. Because, no hair, no flair. Everybody knows that.
That's what I was told.
Yeah.
Macon, Georgia had a hockey team at one time. Have you heard this story?
Was this Macon Whoopie?
Macon Whoopie. It was one of the greatest names ever.
I mean, I like their baseball team. Isn't it Macon Bacon?
Macon Bacon, I believe so, yeah.
But Macon Whoopie is a great one. We've got the Huntsville Trash Pandas.
Right.
As our minor league team.
Which is a redneck thing for raccoon.
Yes. And I think the Pensacola team is the Blue Wahoos.
Right, they are. Which does not have any connection to Wahoo McDaniel.
That we know of.
That we know of. Right.
Knowing Wahoo, he could have very well caught a fucking giant tuna fish right off the bay there behind the baseball stadium. And they said, got to name the stadium after you. We don't know.
Okay, so this thing is still going on now between Mr. McMahon and now Stone Cold.
Yeah, we're almost 27 minutes into the program. No wrestling's happened yet. Just a lot of talking. Some from Vince, some from The Undertaker, some from Vince on the screen. some from the higher power who is Vince, some from Linda and Stephanie, and now Stone Cold in a tie. Well, he came out in a tie.
Yeah. He had a tie around. He had his jersey on, which he still does, has a beer in one hand, clipboard in the other. And hey, let's hear it for being able to make a lot of money and bring a beer can to work, right?
Hey, and he did it while wearing orange, and he didn't get dumped on his head.
How about that?
I don't think everybody got permission to wear orange, but there probably were exceptions.
Yeah.
Hey, DJ Turnup is with us. He didn't send us any offensive countdowns that are going to get your job in trouble this week. So proud of that. He wrote, do y'all remember a couple weeks back when Malachi Black got blood poured on him? I told Tony I've been watching so much WCW 2000, I thought he was going to blurt, it's the red poured all over him.
Yeah.
Do you remember in WCW, were they telling you to switch it up like that? Oh, the red. You couldn't call it blood. You had to call it red. Or were you just trying to be have an abundance of caution?
What, when I said red?
Yeah.
I can't remember what they told me. But I can tell you about this with Malachi Black. I didn't know it was coming. How about that? Sometimes we're warned of things, sometimes we're not. Wasn't warned of that one.
Airborne 37th is with us, and he wants to know, Tony, Ben Affleck, or Christian Bale as Batman?
Christian Bale.
I agree.
Yeah, much better movies. Ben Affleck, to me, looked fat in the suit. And and you know what? I like Ben Affleck. I think Argo.
Oh, that was a good movie.
That was a great movie. That was his movie. But no, the Christian Bale trilogy that I call it, or that trilogy, was the best Batman in the movies.
I agree.
Yeah.
I also, we've talked about this for a long time here on the show. I'll always have a soft spot for that first one, the Michael Keaton one.
Oh, of course.
That was amazing.
Of course.
I'd watch that again tonight.
Yeah, that's nostalgia.
Yeah. Coach Rosie wants to know, what flavor was the blood?
Don't know. I would think it would be syrup. Isn't that usually what they do?
Oh, I don't know, man. We haven't had much need for fake blood down at the mortgage office.
In Halloween, they used to take the clear Cairo syrup and put red dye in it.
Oh, I don't know about that. I grew up Southern Baptist. We weren't doing a lot of trick or treating.
Or dancing.
Never
Did
that.
you dance? No.
Never that. I mean, they were even thinking about getting together and burning all the books.
Yeah. Well, get ready. That's coming back around. I understand.
No, dude, isn't that awesome? Like, I love that we're like burning shit again. Like, when I was a kid, man, I remember like, hey, these are the CDs these are the rap albums with the parental advisory. We got to burn them. We can't let these kids hear this. And then like 2 years later, we're all playing video games where we're pulling the beating fucking heart out of people. Get over here. Mortal Kombat was right behind it. And boy, our parents were like, these video games and this rap music. And now we got Grand Theft Auto where you can beat up a hooker and shoot her in the face to a rap soundtrack.
Video games change the world, bud.
I saw a kid play that not too terribly long ago. Saw what was going on, and I realized this is a kid who's not 12 years old, who is now doing a video game where he's a crime kingpin.
Yeah.
And he goes and he finds a lady of the evening, handles his business in the back seat of his car, and then shoots her in the face after. And I said, hey, if you don't mind me asking, why'd you shoot her in the face? And he goes, that way I get my money back.
Teach them young. Right?
I was playing duck hunt as a kid. You know what I mean? I'm shooting ducks, bud. We're shooting hookers in the face.
Donkey Kong, buddy. Dude, you're trying to jump over a barrel from a gorilla.
When Super Mario got his fucking raccoon tail and started flying, I was like, it don't get no better than this. Look at that. We're was shooting whores in the face. What are we doing?
Oh my God. My God. Different world, Conrad.
You think?
And I'm so glad I've said this so many times, and I'm sincere about this, just as sincere as I'll ever be. I'm so glad that I am the age that I am. I'm so glad that I do not have to raise kids this era. Now, for all my kids like Matt and Chris and Laurie, they have to raise kids in this era.
Yes.
And God bless them for that. Oh, this is the Brood, right? Coming up.
I think you're just barely ahead of me. I just saw Stone Cold Steve Austin receive a
Okay.
briefcase full of warm natural light, which he was pretty proud about. I think he might need to go to a meeting because warm natural light is as close as you can get to horse piss.
Okay, so
But yeah,
where
this
are
is
you?
the Brood entrance right now. Yeah, right after that, the segment you're watching is the Brood. We got the stage on fire. That music is slapping. And here they
Slapping.
come right in the middle. It's Gangrel to his right, our left is Edge. There's Christian with the long ass hair. What'd you think of Christian in his puffy shirt, his very best Jerry Seinfeld pirate shirt?
Loved it, man. I loved everything about Edge and Christian.
How could you not?
Yeah. You know where I started to really like Edge and Christian was I was on their podcast. They had a podcast at one time.
Yes.
And I was on their podcast, and they were so nice to me and so cool, and never met him before. Then I got to meet Christian, obviously, when he came to work in AEW, and now Edge is with us. I can say Edge and Christian here,
Yeah, of course you
obviously.
can.
But Adam Copeland is with us, and just a pro's pro, man. You don't like Adam Copeland? Holy smokes!
Right?
One of the great guys ever. Really, one of the greatest guys ever, as far as being a professional and just I so we got the acolytes, right? And the Brood.
Yep. How about that? I mean, are we leaning into some weird subcultures and occult stuff here or what?
Well, we got a dead man. We had about 20 minutes of him,
Yeah.
and then a drunk redneck while holding a beer. So you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm
Go get it.
saying?
Go get them, right wingers.
Coach Rosie says, I need your advice on how to handle the ashes of my dog Boots. Boy, way to bring us
Okay.
down, Coach. My wife would like to take the ashes and plant a tree with the dog's ashes in the place that Boots always went to the bathroom.
Yes.
So listen, that's something that unfortunately a lot of us are going to have to think about at some point. What do you think about memorials in the yard like that? You're for them, right?
Yeah, I'll give you a website here. We have we got a stone for Bug, and it said my best buddy Bug, and we're gonna. It's a big river stone, about maybe 14 inches, 13 inches across, and we're going to put it in the front yard. We're going to uh, plant a tree in his name, and his ashes have been put in an urn on our mantle. But you can have dog's ashes put in like a locket and wear the locket. I even a friend of mine told me that people are now, which I think this is kind of creepy, and I wouldn't do this. As you know, I got the tattoo, but they said they're putting mixing the dog ashes in the ink and using the dog ashes ink to tattoo with. That's kind of weird. But there is this place called gatewayservicesinc.com. Gatewayservicesinc.com. You go on there and you select your state. They will send you the information. Dave, can you type that in there? Gateway, GATEWAY services, SERVICES Inc., all one word, .com. And that led us to a Pet Angel. We got this from our vet. So there's many ways you can celebrate your dog. So, oh my God. Well, I don't. Where are you now? What's your?
I'm watching Monday Night Raw from
I
June
know what
7th,
now. What
1999.
time code? Time code.
36, 31,
Okay,
32.
I'm way ahead of you.
Well, where you at? I'll catch up. You just don't tell nobody
37,
nothing.
37, motherfucking 41.
All right. Well, I'm even ahead of you now. I'm almost at 38. You nothing happening,
Okay,
motherfucker.
well then let
You.
me go to 38, cocksucker. There you go.
And we got Michael
Michael.
PSA's
Mm-hmm.
just running roughshod down that ramp with the Hardy Bros.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how cool is this feud? I mean, little did we know all the legendary shit they were going to go on to do together. You know, the Hardys and Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
So much great stuff, and that's still to come after that. By the way, Bad Money Slim is with us. I don't know how we're so lucky to have him with us. And he says 1989 was greater than 2024. What do you think of that, Tony? 1989 wrestling compared to 2024 wrestling.
Well, I think it's all perspective. I think it's all what you grew up with. Nostalgia to me, a lot of times trumps what is going out there and going on today. So I can see where Bad Money Slim would think that. By the way, Bad Money Slim is on our Patreon page right now with one of his bonus episodes that he had for us. Really great talking to him for the first time in a long time.
Have you heard about any fun surprises he's working on?
Yes.
How wild is that going to be?
Just get ready, everyone, because it's going to be cool.
Yeah, Bad Bunny Slim ran across something, and he's a pretty creative guy. He's made some fun, silly videos over the years, and he sent me a picture of something he found, and he says, "I got permission to use this for a video." And I don't want to give a spoiler, but it was like, okay, that's going to be pretty fun. So excited to see that. Excited to see so many people hanging out in the live chat with us too. We got a question here from Airborne 37th, Tony.
All right.
That's kind of serious. So I had a failed parachute while in the Army and have since have back and neck problems. How does Tony deal with his issues of his neck while having to be close to the ring at the desk and turning a lot? First of all, thank you for your service. I can't believe that this is, what happened. And thank you for being here apart with us and all that you did for us. But Tony, do you have any pro tips for somebody who has a neck injury?
Well, I'm very fortunate in that my chair will swivel, right? I don't have to turn my neck. But I don't have any tips. No, you talk about different sides of the spectrum. Airborne again, 37. Thanks for your service. Your neck problems came from being a hero and serving us. My neck problems came from just being a fucking slug. So no, being at ringside, actually, because you've got to watch at ringside. You have to watch the monitor, even though we were at ringside. We watch the TV screen, or what we call the monitor, because that's what the fans see. One time I made a mistake, said, "Oh, here comes so and so," and he hadn't come into picture like that, and I made a big mistake by doing that, and that was recently. So yeah, I don't have any tips, but with the exception of the swivel chair and watching the monitor, and that's about all.
We're watching a very special episode of Monday Night Raw. Man, I can't believe this was the higher power episode, and it was 25 years ago. But June 7th, 1999. And coming in the ring right now, we've got the Big Show, the former giant from WCW. We got Ken Shamrock running around. I think Test is there. Of course, we know this is going to, these are the leftovers from the Union. And it was, well, an interesting time creatively, because I think everything is sort of thrown for a loop when, hey, we're going to make Vince McMahon the higher power. Like, that just logically didn't make sense. But it also logically doesn't make sense as you take a look at the size difference here between Michael Cole and Big Show. They're the same species. How is this? I mean, what? Like, if these were dog breeds, these would be different species.
Well, one would be a Great Dane. The other one would be a Chihuahua. You know, a lot of backstage invisible camera cutting.
We're just pumping up King of the Ring, which is coming up about 3 weeks after this. That show's going to happen on June 27th. And which actually June 27th, 1999, that's when I turned 18. I didn't remember watching this pay-per-view, so hopefully that meant I was getting into some mischief. But yeah, this is June 7th, so we're just about 3 weeks away from the pay-per-view, 20 days.
What did you do on your 18th birthday? Do you remember?
I don't recall. I mean, I assume that somebody somewhere was sneaking an alcoholic beverage, but I wasn't really much of a drinker. I didn't really start drinking until I was 25.
Well, I was drinking. And light beer by Miller was the beer choice.
Me too, to this day.
So we had it was our final home football game of the year. And I was on the football team, and it was my 18th birthday, senior day. And we were so excited because a friend of mine, Timmy, had a camp, or what we called a camp, but a cabin. So we were all going to go spend the night there. And man, now back then, I'm talking 1975. We were, or 76, 1975. In 1975, you could buy beer in Virginia at age 18. It's changed now, obviously 21 everywhere, but it was 18 back then. And we went to this one place, this one store that we always used to go to. And I went in there, man, I'm feeling so good about myself. And I put a 12 pack of those little Miller ponies, remember those things?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I put them up on the counter, and the son of a bitch didn't even ask me for my ID. Didn't even ask me for my ID. And I wanted to show it to him because I was 18. Damn. That's what I remember about my 18th birthday. Also remember my good friend Billy got so drunk that night. And he was like the best football player on the team. He was bigger and stronger than anybody on the team by far. I mean, we were just a bunch of little redneck kids, but he was a man. Okay. And that was the first time he had drunk anything. So he got pretty well lit and scared the shit out of all of us. We didn't know if he was going to beat us up or fuck us, but we were like, somebody needs to settle Billy down quickly. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's scared the fuck out of us. That's what I remember about my 18th birthday. There you go. Mine was a lot longer than yours, longer time away than yours. We are in the freaking ring again.
We're talking a lot, bud.
Yeah, buddy.
This is Tess talking now. Boy, everybody's getting mic time here. I don't remember anything really about my 18th birthday. I do remember my 21st birthday, but I remember it because my girlfriend, Tom, she got pretty inebriated.
Oh, yikes,
And we were down at the beach, and she wanted to go to the beach at night after we got back, after she had pretty inebriated.
Do tell.
Well, then she, wanted to do things that sometimes people like to do when they're on vacation or when they've had too much to drink.
Take a stroll or puke. Go ahead. Okay.
But there's some things that can happen when you're in the sand, you see.
Oh, you got sand up the crack of your ass.
Not mine. And it was uncomfortable, I imagine, because I'll never forget what this drunken young lady said to me to express her displeasure. I hope a shark comes out of the sky and eats you. And that's when I realized, boy, she's maybe a little too drunk. She thinks, first of all, that sharks are in the sky. It's a lie. Coach Rosie says on the West Coast, they call that giving her the grit stick.
Wow.
The grit stick.
Okay. All right. Hey, where are you on this thing we're watching here?
I think I'm at 46, 17, 18. Where are you now, Tony? You about an hour and a half
I'm
in?
a minute ahead of you.
Okay. All right. I'm a minute ahead. I'm at 49.09. I don't know.
Jesus Christ. 49.09, really?
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. If we're just clicking spots and saying that's where we
No,
are,
I want to be consistent with you.
I don't
you
know.
fucking-
I mean, I don't know how to do that.
Okay, there's a 10-second button.
No, there's not for me. I'm not watching on Peacock. I'm watching the other link that we got sent.
Okay, but tell Sabato stop sending us links. They don't work. Okay,
He should take a poop with his pants on.
Where are you now?
I'm about an hour and 20 minutes in.
49:30 is where we are, everybody. 49:30. Okay, get there. 49, 37, 38, 39, 40. I want to apologize to Brooke, my goddaughter, for all the language from Conrad today.
What? I didn't say any bad words.
Okay. See, there's a response to all of that. So
how did I say bad words? I didn't say bad words. I don't do that.
Talk about bad things. Okay, so I'm watching Shane McMahon walk to the ring
in a pantsuit, in a tracksuit.
Right.
So in a windsuit, the wind didn't stand a chance against Shane McMahon that day. He was impervious to the wind and its effects.
Yes, no wind, Shane.
Yeah. That's what they used to call him. That's what people are saying.
Yeah, no wind, Shane. That's W-I-N-D, not W-I-N. No wind, Shane. And there's a politician in a red mask.
Hey, Tony, as folks are listening to this, last night was the very first episode on Vice, Who Killed WCW?
Oh.
And there were a lot of different talking heads interviewed, including Eric Bischoff and Kevin Nash. I think a lot of others, even some inside folks behind the scenes. What, will you see it? I don't imagine that you've gotten a screener, but at any point, will you watch it?
I will not.
Okay.
That one I won't watch. I have watched some of the Dark Side of the Ring, but I won't watch that because I know what it is. It's just a hatchet job by those guys who are your friends that consider themselves wrestling fans, but they're really not. Those producers.
Eric Bischoff, you mean?
Nope.
Kevin Nash?
No, you know what I'm talking about.
Evan and Jason? You don't like Evan and Jason?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting that Evan and Jason did Dark Side of the Ring and they did the plane ride from hell.
Mm-hmm.
And as you might imagine, really pissed off Ric Flair.
Me too.
And then when Rick sees that they're doing this documentary series, he just trashes it. Social media. Because he wasn't asked to be interviewed. And I'm like,
okay.
Hang on now.
Yeah.
What? So, I mean, I understand, hey, I was the face of WCW. I get that, but you made it pretty clear how you felt about the folks who were putting this together. Really a surprise that they didn't say, hey, I don't know.
Yeah. I was asked by a third party to do the Tales from the Territories.
$7 Productions.
Whatever. And I refused to do it. So, and I see these people on Dark Side of the Ring talking to the camera, and I'm thinking, what are we doing? Well,
you don't like that?
No, I don't like that. Come on.
You think they shouldn't look right down the camera?
No, I just no.
Right
that's
at
not
it.
it.
They should look this way.
No. I just think that. God,
what do you think?
Have some freaking respect for the business that paid you a lot of money.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying that just by even agreeing to be in front of that camera, you're betraying the brotherhood of wrestling.
I don't know. That's kind of, I guess I'm saying the same thing. I don't know. Here's where this all came down to me. It came down to this.
You see the way Triple H is walking backstage?
Yeah.
That's how your wife will be walking after she finds out about BlueChew. Our promo code, WHW.
I'm actually not looking at Triple H. I'm looking to the left. So, anyway, Tommy Dreamer, who is one of the greatest guys ever.
Yes, he's a great guy.
Okay. Was canceled because of that show for a time. for what he said defending Ric Flair. And I get it. He shouldn't have said it. But they did not have to air that part. It's up to the producers when they get all this footage. And I'm sure they talked to Tommy for hours.
Yeah.
To air and what not to air. They did not have to air that footage. No, I'm sure they knew this would get Tommy in trouble. And to me, that tells me all I need to know about those producers. And that's my problem with it. And that's the only thing. Nothing else. I think the production's pretty cool in what I've seen. I think it's very, very well done. But that's my problem. As a producer on things that have been taped, you have editorial rights because you're putting the shit together. What to leave in and what to throw out. Bad decision. It was a decision made solely on entertainment and not looking out for the person who probably did this for you to help with your show. Tommy helped with the show. They fucked Tommy over.
Airborne 37th says, I like those shows, but the hatchet cutting of statements and cutting key words is shitty. Listen, I want to defend the guys a little bit. They've got to fit a certain runtime. Now, if they were able to just produce content for a streaming service, and hey, if it goes an hour 37, it goes an hour 37. That's not what they're able to do. So they're usually told, hey, you got 41 minutes here for episode 1. Right. And they probably shot, as you know, Tony, 10, 12, maybe 20 hours, and they're going to trim that down to 40 minutes. Like, that's tough. And, you know, that's not even just talking about the interviews. You've got to slide in all the recreations, and you've got to do the VOs to just add context. And it's an unenviable job to do the editing. So I know that there's been some people who say, oh, I was quoted unfairly and I did a hatchet job. And I know that we throw those things around, but I am sympathetic to, hey man, they took 20 hours and made it into 40 minutes. That's a tall order.
Good for them. Hey, so here's The Rock. Are we on the same place here just about?
Yeah. So The Rock has a cast on his left forearm, and Triple H has a leg cast on his right leg. He was dragging that thing to the ring like he was Robert Fuller. Coach Keith Morrison is with us. He says, hey, thanks, Tony and Conrad. I was taking my dog to the groomers and a cop stopped me, but he heard Tony doing the Undertaker voice and we started talking about wrestling, and you two got me out of getting a ticket. How about that? So we just got Coach Keith out of a ticket. Tell your friends. Subscribe to patreon.com/WHW Monday. It's like, better than having one of those scanners. Boom.
Yeah. And Coach Keith, slow the fuck down. I mean, it's neighborhood, brother. Got kids all around. Oh. So we haven't seen much of matches so far here tonight. I don't know. This has got to be another disqualification match because he just whacked him with a chair. Boom.
I'd been out of school at this point for like 2 weeks. Like finished with high school. The show, though, we've got Acolytes and the Brood in ring. They go a whopping 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Kane and X-Pac are going to take on Shane. That went a 2-on-1 handicap match for a whopping 2 minutes. And what we're watching right here in a cast match is 1 minute and 23 seconds. The Rock is going to get the win by DQ. Next up, we've got Deborah and Nicole Bass for the women's title in a bikini contest. That's right. We're trading the title around based on bikini contest. Then we got the Godfather, who may or may not have some hoes with him, taking on Mr. Ass for a whopping 3 minutes and seconds.
Wow.
We'll get another 3 minutes of wrestling with Al Snow and Draws for the Hardcore Championship. We've also got in our main event, The Undertaker and The Big Show in a no contest. It's going to go to a no contest for the WWF Championship. That'll get a lot of time, 6 minutes and 51 seconds. But the fastest match that we're building towards, and you saw the cage or the apparatus earlier, you saw Vince McMahon walking around looking pretty jacked. It's going to be Vince McMahon versus Ken Shamrock in a Lion's Den match. So it's an MMA style fight here for Vince McMahon on Monday Night Raw.
That's all coming up.
Yeah. Not a
On
lot
this
of
show,
rest. The run times of the in-ring, though, Tony, 3:22, 2 minutes, a minute 23, 3 minutes 14, 3 minutes and 1, 7 seconds, 6 minutes and 51 seconds. Like, in-ring action, not a priority here in WWE.
Was this the Vince Russo era too?
Yes, knee deep in it.
Yeah. Well, they were doing big numbers, right? What
No
the fuck?
doubt. I mean, you did a 7 on this segment.
Yeah. There were some people that thought, and my God, it's the rescue of the week. I'm at the got a dog barking.
Yeah, are you gonna finish the sentence or
no?
Okay. So Deborah making her way to the ring, got a jacket on, a silver jacket. It's like a brassiere underneath. Here comes the bikini contest. That's a nice way to keep people tuned in during a commercial break, is it not?
Yes, sir.
WWF.com. How about they still had the America Online keyword? Oh, there's the rescue of the week. You're actually way ahead of me again. I don't know how this keeps happening, but
well, I'm going to pause until you tell me you're at 1 hour and 27 seconds. Okay, so I'll be right.
Oh, I just skipped ahead. I'm in 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. Then go back, you stupid son of a bitch. Okay.
You want 1 hour and 27?
Hour 27. 1:00:20.
You know what I'm realizing? I'm wondering if the section, the version we have is also the Peacock version. How do you keep getting it?
Yeah, I don't know. You're probably right. All right.
People have asked that about you for a long time. How does this guy keep getting ahead? I can't figure it out.
I don't. Anyway,
not
so
get any head, get ahead.
Get ahead. Oh, how do I get ahead?
Yeah.
By 2 things. Okay. It's right back here. Right there. You can't see it. Okay. But it says, work hard and be nice to people. Work hard and be nice to people. I found this freaking sign at a Target. And I saw that and I thought, that's it, man. That's me. That's how I do things. And work hard and be nice to people unless they're fuck ups like Dave Silva.
I just don't know if that's real, that you really practice work hard and be nice to people. Because
I do.
I know this guy named Pete, and he says you're just a kiss ass. He says that you're always on the phone with the boss, just.
The boss is on the phone with me.
Oh, I got you. So what you're saying is it's not you going to the boss. It's the boss going to you.
No, I'm saying that I'm there at the desk and I get a text from Tony Khan. What do you fucking want me to do? Turn the phone over and not read it? Is that what you want me to do? Would you do that? No, you wouldn't do that. Pete wouldn't do that. Excalibur wouldn't do that. He texts during the show. You fucking answer it. Are you at 127 yet?
Oh, I'm so past it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at 101.49, 50, 51. We got Nicole Bass coming to the ring with her arm around Val Venus, and we're getting ready for a little bikini contest here.
Man.
Airborne 37th says, Conrad, if people do a show like on Vice, can they demand as part of the deal an uncut copy of their interview? Yeah. I'm sure they could. Like, that's all just in the negotiation. Now, I don't know just because you have a copy of the uncut
what's it going to do?
Interview, it's not like you can air it.
Right.
Like, because you don't own it.
It's their property.
It's their property. So you couldn't really do anything other than to say, I have the real copy. And that's not the way it went. I think what Tony's insinuating to Airborne 37th is, hey, why not just don't put yourself in that situation?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you think that this might be an issue, how about just don't let it be an issue? Ta-da. Tony, I've got some real shitty problems in my life. Have I told you about this?
I'm sorry. I'm watching the replay here.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. So Nicole Bass is taking off her
So,
cover up right
yeah,
now.
we'll get to your problems here pretty soon.
Yeah, we sure
So,
will.
so this is the puppies era when
Yeah, Road Dogg actually created that term,
really.
but he referred to Deborah and her puppies, and Jerry Lawler just went with it and made it his own, and it's still a term to these days because of how Jerry Lawler kept it alive. But I just recently, like in the last year or so, learned it was a Road Dogg.
Nicole Bass was, and I'm not trying to be funny here. She was jacked.
Yeah, she was a professional bodybuilder.
Man, you could tell. Holy smokes.
Yeah, the base was there, and then not so much of a bodybuilder, but a beauty queen from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and those guys are real excited. See the puppies.
Was she bounced up and down for us too.
Well, I don't think she was doing that. I think somebody, maybe it was Jerry Lawler, was jumping up and down,
Oh, got it.
and
Okay.
so then the ring moved.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people still think that the wrestling ring is a trampoline. It is not, Tony.
No, it's not.
They think, oh no, you just fall and then you just bounce up, and it's like, well, 2x4s, bud.
Yeah. And then steel reinforced
And a little
know-
bit of a mat, but still, I mean, when you think about it, it's steel and 2x4s with a little mat on top. It's not a trampoline.
well, Chris Schiavone trained a little bit. He wanted to try it out. And that, of course, led to him getting the diamond cutter from QT Marshall when we were in Pittsburgh years ago. And his first training session, he told me, he said, man, when you hit the mat, that hurts. I
Yeah.
went, yeah. He said, when you hit the ropes, it hurts. I went, yes, it does. It's not a freaking game, dude.
No.
It's not. You look at this, oh, I can do that. Bullshit. Not everybody can do it. Not everybody wants to do it. So tell me about your problem right now.
So I moved to the lake. As you can see, my backdrop here is a little different. So I'm here now, and I'm no longer at the Huntsville house. And we're getting it. Had the whole house painted, and some new put a new balcony on the back, and put a new railing around the back, and tinkered with the landscaping and the landscape lighting, and pressure washed all of the outside decks, and got the inside all spick and span and cleaned up and good to go. And then
Yeah.
Casio calls me
Mhm.
last Wednesday.
Okay.
It says, "Hey man, you ever have the toilets in the basement drain real slow?" And I go, "Man, you and Silva must have done a number over there. Just
Yeah. Sure.
call this guy. Here's his number. His name's Ricky. Just let him know what you need, and he'll come knock." And so then he sends me a text the next day. He goes, "Hey man, I texted Ricky yesterday, and he didn't ever hit me back." And I said, "Well, respectfully, I didn't say text Ricky. I said call Ricky." And he
Mm.
goes, "What's the difference, LOL?" And I said, "Well, Ricky can't read, so you got to call him." So he calls him, and then the next day, so now it's Friday. He's like, "Hey man, I called Ricky and left him a voicemail. He hadn't called me back." I said, "All right, call my dad and say, 'Hey, Mr. Larry, will you send Ricky to Conrad's Huntsville house?' And Ricky will
Right.
come right over." So sure enough, he does. Ricky has been an unofficial member of our family for like 20 years. But we learned something new about Ricky last Friday. You see, Ricky is used to at my house 2 little white dogs. Show
Right.
everybody watching how big approximately those little white dogs are with your hand. There you go. Now he comes downstairs and sees not only Cassio, but Hank.
Oh
And
my!
no one-
Hank's
no-
not a little
no-
white dog.
Hank was never mentioned or discussed.
Hmm.
So here's Ricky coming to take care of his buddy Conrad's plumbing issue, whatever it may be. And he turns the corner, and there's a 150-pound pit bull smiling. Now, anybody who's met Hank knows as my grandfather would say, that dog wouldn't bite a biscuit.
Right.
But this dog is 150 pounds,
Hmm.
pit bull,
Looks like he would.
And when he smiles, he shows you every tooth in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he just wants you to pet him.
Right.
But old Ricky didn't know that. And he knew I just came around the corner and that dog looked like a gargoyle.
Mm-hmm.
Showed me every tooth in its head. And Cassio says he turned around and Ricky was gone.
I don't blame
It was
Ricky.
like he had vanished.
Yeah.
It was a Houdini trick. So now I look at my phone and I realize, hey, wait a minute. There's a guy who listens to our podcast who I helped with a loan years ago. He used to work for Roto-Rooter. So even if he can't help us, he knows someone who can. And sure enough, he sends a message to a fellow. That fellow comes over. And I told Cassio, I'm on the side of the mountain there. Hey, man, if there's a problem with the tank that pumps it up to the sewer at the street level, if you go out the sliding glass door by the game room, there's a black box on the side of the house, and it's got a red light on top. That thing will be making noise, and it'll be lit up. That tells you that the tank is full. So he goes and he says, no, that's not it. And I go, well, I don't know. Let's see what this guy. So that guy comes over, says the same thing. It sounds like your tank is full, but this thing should be going off. So he checks the breaker. The breaker's not flipped. He's like, man, that's weird. So he goes down there, empties the tank, and he's like, oh, yeah, your pump is dead. This thing's supposed to get like 5 to 7 years. You've had it for 12 years because I put it in 12 years ago. And I'm like, okay, well, no big deal. We'll get a pump. And I told Cassio, maybe $3,000. I think that's about what I paid. No big deal.
Yeah.
And then the guy tells Cassio, hey, man, if you don't mind, flush a couple of the toilets. Let me just make sure everything's working. So then he's down there and he says, hey, we got a big problem. What's the problem? There's gravel and mud coming out. That means there's a break in the line.
Okay, can we do a break in your story?
So I have a broken shit line at my house.
Okay. A broken shit line at your house.
Yeah. And it's behind my house, Tony, that hangs off the mountain. So there are like big Tonka truck excavators digging in the side of the mountain behind my house. Right.
So could your house like slide off that mountain?
No, that's not the way that works. But I'm just saying, does the story of Cassio and his water clogging, line breaking, floor splatting, legendary shits never end?
Well, here's the moral of the story. And I've known this for a long time. You are too good of a friend.
Okay.
You're too good of. Lois Schiavone would have thrown him out on his. Okay.
That would have been a shitty thing to do. I don't want to do that.
I know, but that's the difference in people. Hey, as you're telling this story, I'm seeing all these beautiful women go to the
hose. The
Godfather.
hose. Yes, sir. The hose.
Hose?
That's what they are. They're hose.
Oh, they look. Oh.
What do you think of these hoes?
I think they're pretty freaking good.
If he were to offer you the option to fight him or have relations with them,
I have relations with them.
Who would pick to fight Godfather over that? Like I would pick that every time.
Yeah.
Oh, so I can get punched in the face?
Mm-hmm.
Or
when do you go see Mr. Ass come out? When does he come out on your screen?
He's getting beat up by Godfather.
Okay, got it.
I am. I don't know where you are, but I'm at 111, 56, 57.
Yeah, we're the exact same place.
By the way, Coach Rosie says they all work at Disco's place.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Well, I was going to say I don't think they do now.
They're all grandmothers right now.
The Novia Smack is in the house with us now.
Hey, D-Mac.
Come and hang out. Have you seen that Val Venus has become a political figure online?
No, I'm not.
I used to just think Val Venus just wrestled. Apparently he lives to rile people up on social media.
So he's really a political figure? Or it's just, you're just...
No, I think he's become a polarizing figure because of some of his politics. Okay. Like, I guess he wrote something about Nyla Rose that wasn't very friendly or polite. And I think Nick Gage, who you know from GCW, he posted something defending that. And then Val responded So this bank robbing 200-pound soaking wet 5'7" criminal midget is who the Rainbow Mafia wants to send after me. Wow.
Wow.
What is going on?
Wow.
Hey, how about point to that sign again? Point to that sign. Work hard and be nice to people.
Exactly.
Man, I think we should all, you know what? That's a new shirt over at lowestrules.com, by God.
Yeah.
Work hard and be nice to people.
I'll do. Please, let's come up with that, and Dave's have him send me one.
Yeah,
Please.
we can make that happen.
Yeah. Absolutely, let's do it. Oh, look at this. I've got Road Dog in, Mr. Ass out, or as we call him now, Daddy Ass.
Now, do you call him daddy ass like at the airport?
No, I call him Billy. Were we supposed to see a lingerie match and did not?
No, it was a bikini match. It was a bikini contest. See,
A contest.
Deborah can't wrestle, you see.
Thought something would pop out.
There was a great line from ECW commentary. Oh, no, it wasn't ECW commentary. It was Paul Heyman doing commentary here on Monday Night Raw.
Really?
When he replaced...
between bites of a hamburger?
Yes. He said something
between bites of 10 hamburgers and 5 milkshakes? Go ahead. Sorry.
Actually, no, that wasn't ECW.
Did he have a turkey leg? Okay, I'm sorry. I got... Go ahead. Commentary by...
What do you think of that hat Draws is wearing?
That kind of reminds me of Buff Bagwell.
Well, that's a crazy hat right there.
That's crazy.
What do you think about this vomiting gimmick?
Ew.
It's a vomit gimmick.
Wait a minute. Would they come to the ring and vomit, or are they just vomiting about something?
Well, that was Draws' thing. He famously vomited on a Monday Night Football game when he was playing football. And so they had him come in to meet with Vince McMahon, and they filmed it for a documentary. And they were thinking about calling him, his wrestling name being Puke. And so Vince says, so you can really do this on command? He goes, well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a thing I didn't know I could do, but yeah, I can. So he picks the trash can from underneath his desk, puts it on the desk, and he goes, I'd like to see it.
Mm.
And he says, what, right now? And he goes, yeah. Now I'm freestyling here. But the famous scene in that is Vince pretending like he's on commentary. He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke his guts out everywhere. And just Vince getting so excited about puke just tickled me. That's what you should do. Maybe that's what you should do for Lois.
Mm.
She's gonna kiss it.
No, I'm saying it would be, she's gonna hit me on top of the head with something. Again. I'm being facetious. There's no. Hey, but
we all know that she whoops your ass with a frying pan. And well established here on the program.
She does not, but damn it, she could if she wanted to. I am not the alpha in this house. So can I bring up something here that we kind of touched on?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. I absolutely love Nyla Rose.
Oh, I do too.
Just a wonderful lady, just a wonderful person. And if anybody's going to take issue with her, they can kiss my ass.
Well, that's my thing. How about before we decide we don't like people, can we meet them?
Yes.
Can we have a conversation with them? Can we just? Yeah. I mean, I just really believe in that golden rule. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's cool to you, be cool to them. Who cares?
Exactly.
Life's too short.
There you go, right there. Work hard and be nice to people. Not only that, here's my feeling, and I'm honest about this. You can be any sex you want to be. It doesn't bother me. It's not going to change my lifestyle here.
Doesn't affect my life at all.
Yeah. Not at all. Stop waving the freaking flag You know what? Stop. That's why I don't give a shit about politics. Fuck it. They say, oh, yes, who's in the White House is going to determine what's going on. Bullshit. Bullshit. My life has changed because of me, because of my efforts, and because of Tony Khan, but because of me. So stop it. Stop it. Hey, they're in the bar at the
Al
Fleet
Snow and
Center.
Draws are brawling through the bar here at Boston,
Yeah.
at the Boston Garden.
Yes, the TD Garden, as it's now known. Back then, it was the Fleet Center.
Well, I was just reading what it said on the wall, motherfucker. It says Boston
Yeah, no,
Garden.
thank you. I'm glad you can read. Good stuff.
What, me reading?
Yeah, you reading.
I'll read
Okay.
some. I'll read some more. Let me see what this says. It says, "Fuck you, Tony." That's what it says. That was buy one get one free. Nothing happening, motherfucker. You watch the match, dude.
Well, there's an expanded version of that that's online. Someone put it online and someone sent it to me.
We'll retweet it.
Yeah, it goes on to say Excalibur says, we're back in 10 seconds or something like that. Oh,
Yeah, so they got excavators behind my house now, removing the absolute logs that have jammed me up and broken the line from Cassio and Dave Silva.
yeah.
And Jeff Jewett, he
Oh,
took a shit on the third floor once from doodoo-trucking.com.
yeah.
And that, I don't think that shit has ever properly left the house. That may have been the precursor for the problem.
Why doesn't he take one of his trucks from Vermont, get his ass down to Huntsville, and take care of your problem?
Well, at this point, it's not even a hauling off the shit problem. I've already had the shit hauled off, you see. The problem was I needed a pump, but the problem before that even was the line's busted.
I wish we could have prepped a little bit more for that, man. Brought Cassio on with us to talk about it.
Well, what we could do is a bonus episode. Maybe we have him climb down in the tank and broadcast live. We'll call it
All from a shit tank.
the
Okay.
shittiest episode of What Happened When ever.
Probably not. We've had shittier episodes, I'm sure.
Oh my God. The Steve Austin one from before we flip formats. That's probably
Yeah.
the shittiest, but that's what we'll call it. The second shittiest
The
episode.
second shittiest episode ever.
So we're getting ready for a Lion's Den match right now, Tony. I'm not making this up. We're about to see an MMA match on Monday Night Raw with Ken Shamrock, a UFC Hall of Famer, a UFC legend, taking on the genetic jackhammer. He's gonna.
Well, you have to admit this. I mean, even though this match is light on action, it is chock full of what we would consider Hall of Fame talent, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, think about the all stars they had on this, from the Undertaker to Stone Cold to Rock, to Paul White or Big Show at that time, or whatever they called him, Big Show that time. Vince McMahon, Edge and Christian.
Meanwhile,
Hardy.
let me tell you what you're up against. Okay.
Okay.
You guys were in Cleveland at the Convocation Center.
Mm-hmm.
You had Hack, former Sandman, wrestle Prince Iaukea in a hardcore match.
Okay.
Then you had Scotty Riggs wrestle Lenny Lane. Then you had Chris Benoit and Perry Saturn take on DDP and Bam Bam Bigelow to win the tag team titles. Then you had La Parka and Silver King take on Damien and Cyclope in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Then you had Ernest Miller beat Horace. Then you had the Cruiserweight champion Rey Mysterio Jr. beat Bobby Duncombe Jr. by DQ. Then you had Buff Bagwell beat Disco Inferno.
Oh.
And in the main event, Sting and Randy Savage, as much as we're light on in-ring action here, we're light on shit people want to see on Nitro.
And that's because as you ran down the names,
Yeah.
6, maybe 7 of those guys, big time stars. We were not
lot
much on
more
star
stars
power.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's crazy too, Tony, is you've got Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Goldberg, Bret Hart, Ric Flair. I mean, you've got all those guys under contract. They're just not on the program.
Yeah. And they're getting paid a handsome sum.
Sounds familiar. So how about it, man? Vince McMahon trying the North Carolina redneck trying to outsmart the other North Carolina redneck.
Who's supposed to be in this Lions Den match?
Ken Shamrock
Huh?
and Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if Vince came out and tried to stop the match or what. And
No, it's Vince versus Shamrock. And look,
see, I thought,
Jeff Jarrett handles business.
oh, on the fucking head.
And there's the ankle lock. Vince McMahon beat Ken Shamrock in an MMA match. Write it down, folks. Eric Bischoff beat Terry Funk at a Starcade. And somehow, some way, Vince McMahon beat Ken Shamrock in an MMA cage.
There has to be, in today's wrestling world, people would shit all over this, man. Wouldn't they?
Yes. This would die a very painful death in the modern
Mhm.
internet wrestling community.
Yes, there would. Okay. But again, this is the Vince Russo era, and this is what he did. Better for worse. I hate that I'm going to say something not a lot of people like, but I hated that Russo gets all the shit that he gets.
Yeah,
And I only say that because he's so good to me.
It's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair. Vince Russo worked endlessly, tirelessly to put a product together. He did. And was good to me and was a good guy. And I'm honest about that. So, and you know what I feel about hard work.
Yes.
I mean, I know how much effort you've put into your business and to all these podcasts. And I appreciate you. I mean, God, the work that you do, plus having to put up with guys like Silva, Casio.
It's a lot, man.
Yeah. Oh, I just saw JR put down running like scalded dogs. Just saw that on my closed captioning.
There's the King of the Ring bracket. You see Mr. Ass versus Ken Shamrock, Big Show versus Kane, Road Dogg versus China, Holly versus X-Pac. We know in the end, Mr. Ass is going to be the guy they're going to try to make here as a single star at King of the Ring 99. And then, of course, the night after on Monday Night Raw, The Rock would effectively kill Daddy Ass's singles career.
Killed his singles career?
Yep.
How would you do that? Hurt him?
The worst. It was a promo that people thought Billy Gunn would be pissed about, and Billy Gunn was interviewed about it years later, and he says, "No, I was laughing. It was tremendous."
Okay. And this one interview ended his singles career?
Killed him dead. Killed any momentum he had.
Yeah, Billy is cool as they come.
He mocked him, and you know how Rock does, silly voices and stuff. And he said something like, "Oh, dear God, my name's Billy, and I just won King of the Ring, but there's one problem. Everybody still thinks I absolutely suck." Place goes bananas. It was nothing, but it was enough where people were like, "Yeah, why did we think he was cool? He's shitty." And I mean, he was such a tastemaker at the time, and every promo he did was entertaining. People were like, "Yeah, Billy Gunn does suck." And then he beat him right after he won King of the Ring, and it was like, well, that's enough of that. So he fell out of favor with someone politically, is all I can guess.
That's unfortunate because Billy Gunn truly is one of my favorites to work with.
A great human being, and
sure is
a hoss and a half. You meet him in real life, and you're like, "Oh, wasn't expecting this."
I told Billy, and I think I've said this on this podcast, but I told Billy this the other day. We got a big laugh out of it. I said, if I ran a wrestling company, you'd be with me everywhere. Not only because of your size and your demeanor, but because you know how to shoot straight with in a business where shooting straight is not always the norm. So we need more Billy Guns in our. So there. May have gotten buried by the rock, but he has survived, done quite well.
Hey, so I know we don't talk about current stuff, but there's a lot of internet wrestling fans who are paying attention to Natalia. I guess she did a promo on Monday Night Raw last night as we're recording this. She said something like, "Enough's enough and it's time for a change," which is a famous line that Owen Hart used in a promo. And with the Owen Cup right around the corner and her contract expiring, boy, the internet wrestling community is fired up about the idea of Natty Neidhart outside of the confines of WWE. If Natalia were to try her hand outside of WWE, is there anybody in AEW you'd like to see her wrestle? Again, we're not saying it's happening. We're not saying we want it to happen. But I think there's a lot of people who have started a fantasy book. What would her in TNA look like? What would her in Japan look like? What would her in Mexico look like? And of course, what would her in AEW look like? Is there anybody that you think, boy, that could be fun?
No, because I've not seen her wrestle.
Oh, okay.
So isn't that something that fans draw to something like that more than anything else?
Yes.
Fantasy booking, so it could all be an angle, right? So no, we're actually seeing a little bit of a match here.
This is the longest match on the show, and that's what's crazy. Yeah. And no disrespect to anybody involved here, but I wouldn't have guessed on paper the match that goes the longest is the Big Show Undertaker match. You would think with the bigger guys they'd keep it shorter, but they actually go 6 minutes and 51 seconds here, Tony. That's a pretty decent runtime for a TV match in WWE.
And of course, the fans are kind of worn out here too, aren't they? Now,
Yeah.
There's a little response.
A lot of heavy on story stuff, and respectfully, I think in this era, and I'm sure some people would agree, but in this era, to me, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin and friends. He's the draw. Right. He's who everybody's there to see. At this point, we've broken up DX. It's not quite what it was. I don't think this Ministry of Darkness thing really resonated with a lot of hardcore Undertaker fans who were fans of his babyface work. And I don't think Big Show, because he flip-flops so many times. If I'm a good guy, I'm a bad guy. So I think the fans are rightfully maybe on their hands. We don't really have a Stone Cold level babyface here. But if he were to come out, man, it'd be pandemonium. People be throwing their goddamn babies in the air.
This is just, in many ways, this show kind of blows me away. In many ways, I get it. Again, it comes down to star power.
Yes.
And still today. And you know what? To me, that's what pro sports have always been about more than anything else, especially the NBA.
Yeah.
Star power. You want to see LeBron, you want to see Steph Curry. That draws the people out. You want to see them. And of course, now with the NBA, there's more than just those two big stars. There's so many stars, so many great players out there that have led their team. And the same thing with NFL, right? Wait, whiffed on that. Like Patrick and the Kansas City Chiefs. Almost said Patrick McGaw. Patrick Mahomes. Want to see him play? Stars. There you go. I got the stars here. Is Big Show going to bleed here? Oh, they hit the freaking announce desk. Look at Carlos over on the far side there. And the Spanish table. Carlos with us now. What a good guy. What a pro. So chairs are legal? I guess on the outside there. Are you still with me?
Keep going.
Did he have to go take a piss?
Yep.
Jesus, piss in a bottle. Jesus.
We can make it through this main event.
Yeah, we'll make it. There's a right hand to the head. A right hand to the head. Referee falls down. Referee falls down. Conrad Thompson could not wait an hour and a half to take a piss. Does that just kind of say it all, fans? Does that say it all? Jesus, criminy Christ. Pee before you start and bring a bottle in the bottle.
Work hard, pee harder. Oh, and be nice.
Oh, that's the line of the show. Oh, for crying out loud. What are we doing with our lives? We're watching wrestling. At least I am. Thank you for coming back, you son of a bitch. Piss in a bottle.
What?
Yes.
Piss in a bottle.
Piss in a bottle. Don't walk away from this show. This is Conrad and Tony. This ain't Tony. And a blank screen.
You sometimes walk away and jack off the dogs on camera in the background.
Okay. Well, Dave Silva said, work hard, pee harder.
That's actually Bad Money Slim suggesting we make it a t-shirt thing.
No, that's from Dave Silva. He said that.
Oh, while I was actually peeing?
While you were peeing.
I got you.
That was very funny.
Well,
So
I was peeing pretty hard, I'll be honest. I was trying to get it out as fast as I could. See, here's what's happened. My wife's got me, or I got this water filtration thing here. I was tired of toting all the water bottles back and forth. So I got this water filtration thing here. And the wife has now got these goddamn Stanley cups in every fucking color. So I'm just drinking more water than I might normally. And I just gauged it wrong. So my bad. My little bladder got full. I had to go pee out of my pee, you see.
Are you where I am or both gone through the ring here?
Yes, they're both rolling around underneath the ring. Big Show's out trying to stomp a mud hole.
And the match has been stopped. Wow. What an ending, the show.
Yeah, it ended in a no contest. And of course, how about JBL getting up and Big Show held him? That's a big boy to be held in the air like that.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
And I don't know if I would do it to Ron Simmons, but
wow.
Oh my goodness, he got up for that. What a choke slam and a half. The Undertaker crawls out of the hole. He escapes. Not before Midian gets one. Man, the just raw strength of Paul to not only get him up, but then hold him for a second before he put him down. That's unbelievable.
So you say you talked to Midian recently?
Yeah, he's going to be having an interview over at adfreeshows.com. He's super smart, man. It's my first time. It's weird because of all the people that I've gotten to hang out with and meet in wrestling. He's one of the few I never met. And he's like, man, you know all my buddies. I'm like, I know. How do I know everybody but you? And so we had a great visit. It's coming soon to adfreeshows.com. And we greatly appreciate you guys hanging out with us here today. This was fun, watching some old school wrestling, talking about Taz and whatnot. And it's also fun for me in my real life to help you save some money. And I can help you do that at savewithconrad.com. Check out this 5-star review we just got from Aston, Pennsylvania. Sean says, Diane was readily available and very quick to respond to every email. If she didn't have an answer, she would find out and get back to us quickly. A pleasure to work with. Man, we're just seeing 5-star reviews left and right, including one from Jason, who last month said he saved $1,500 a month.
Whoa.
Yeah. Find out how much money you can save. Get rid of your credit card debt, get a lower monthly payment, even skip your next 2 house payments at savewithconrad.com. And maybe it's time to get out of that apartment and get into a house of your own. We can help you do that. And believe it or not, there's actually loan programs in 2024. You don't need a down payment. That's right. No money down loans are back. And you can still, of course, get an FHA loan, which gets you lots of fun stuff, even like a 4-plex with as little as 3.5% down. I recently talked to one of our family members here on Patreon who told me that he's getting a divorce. I wanted to know, hey, if you were me, what would you do? And I said, dude, I'd buy a fourplex on an FHA loan. With just 3.5% down, you can have 3 other people paying you rent every month. Come on, get you some of that. We can help at savewithconrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket. We want to be your mortgage advisor for life. And hey, you got a friend in the mortgage business. That's me. Hit me up right now at savewithconrad.com. NMLS number 32416. Tony, I had a lot of fun talking about old school wrestling. Is there anything in particular that you would like for us to watch soon? I know that we've kicked around doing some ECW and doing some FMW. Is there any content in particular that you're like, I've heard about that, but maybe we need to watch that?
I wouldn't mind seeing some old TNA stuff.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people that work for us that worked in TNA, and I was not familiar with that. I know we have seen some, but I think some old TNA stuff would be pretty cool, and we probably should be able to track some of that stuff, couldn't we? Until we get a.
Oh no, I think we're okay with TNA, but who knows, man? Things are changing. But what I know for sure is we're going to be back watching some silly wrestling next week. We're doing it every single week. You get these shows early and ad free over at patreon.com/WHW Monday. You get live interactive watch alongs as well. And have we mentioned adfreeshows.com? We've got a bunch of exclusive shows over there, bonus content from all of our hosts, plus Lex Expressed every month, Tuesdays with the Taskmaster, The Book with David Crockett, Saturday mornings with Meanie. The Blue Meanie recaps you every weekend. And we got Monday Mailbag. It alternates between Mike Chioda and, of course, Nick Patrick. Just a lot of great stuff. Hope that you'll check it out. We've got over 100,000 hours of bonus content, all the StarCast stage shows, and really the archives go back to the beginning of the shows. But I mean, we're talking more than 4 years worth of ad-free shows exclusives now, all available for you at adfreeshows.com. But Tony, right now, it looks like it's about that time.
And just like the turds at Conrad's old house, the Conradison, we are getting out of here quickly, even with a guy like Casio on the commode. We're desperately out of time. See you next week on What Happened When. We come to you each and every Wednesdays on Cumulus. Of course, that is Westwood One. But Mondays, everybody's slobbering over the fact that they can get us exclusively and ad-free only on
Patreon, patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com.